arts in psychology and a minor in education. She is part of 2 honor societies and has spent the last year working in the infant cognition lab at the Center for Mind and Brain. Before transferring here, she spent 10 years working in research for the UC Davis campus. After today, she plans on pursuing a higher degree in forensic psychology. So welcome, Jennifer.
Good morning and thank you to the provost, deans, faculty, and staff. Welcome family, friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates of the class of 2016. I am honored to be able to share my story with all of you. But first, I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has supported us and kept us going throughout this journey. And personally, I'd like to thank my amazing wife, who has encouraged me to keep going, even after my many threats of giving up, probably all the way through this last week. This day is finally here. This is our day. A day that celebrates all of the long nights, projects, and caffeine-fueled exams. The day that I could have sworn 4 weeks ago would never arrive, given my relative certainty that midterms, projects, and finals would be the death of me. Or that Smart Site's little joke, they thought it was funny, I'm sure. This day has been many years in the making. Yet for a short 2, 4, and for those of us who are feeling a little extra ambitious, 5 years, our paths have been intertwined by this campus. We have shared this time and life together. We have sat next to each other in classes, just as we sit here now. We have stood next to each other in the ridiculously long lines at the Silo and Coho, and we have bumped shoulders in the hallways. This may be due to the fact that none of us look up from our phones these days, but nonetheless, we have participated in picnic day shenanigans, and we have all shared the pain of midterms and assignment deadlines, which, by the way, faculty and staff, professors, have never failed at falling on the same day of the quarter. But more importantly, we have worked together to reach this day. We have lended a helping hand to those who have fallen off their bikes, and we have cheered on our teams by proudly chanting the Aggie Fight song. And we have rallied together for what we believed was important for our campus. All of the lectures and exams may have prepared us for the degrees that we get today, and hopefully will lead us to a career we enjoy. And let's face it, one that also pays well. However, the experiences that have taken place outside of the classroom, these are the ones that have truly taught us about life, and in combination with this education, have prepared us for the future. I want to share a bit of my story with you, remembering that my story is just one of the thousands of stories that are seated in this room today. When I enrolled at a nearby community college, I really had no specific goal in mind. I just sort of went with the flow. I flowed right into changing my major about 4 times, and I spent 7 years on that campus, working during the day and taking classes at night. And despite starting with 0 goals, I now had dozens, and 3 associate degrees. I kept setting new goals, and I was constantly going 100 miles an hour. And I kept telling myself that one day in the future, I'd slow down and be done with school and homework and late night studying. One day in the future, I would land that job that made me happy, paid me well, and that day in the future is when I begin living happily. Well, Valentine's Day of 2014, I experienced an undetected, life-threatening cardiac event. I didn't have a chance to really grasp what was going on before I was being airlifted to UC Davis Medical Center and prepped for open heart surgery. And all I could think was, I'm 27, I'm super active, this can't actually be happening. And just like that, time stood still. I went from going 100 miles an hour to 0. And I was stuck inside of an ICU room questioning what it was I was supposed to gain from this event. I still had so many goals I hadn't yet achieved. I hadn't yet reached that future day when I was going to start slowing down, enjoying life, and begin being happy. When I was leaving the hospital a few weeks later, there was someone mowing the lawn nearby, and the scent of that freshly cut grass hit me like never before. I think it was the first time that I had actually broken down since this whole thing had started. Now, I've obviously smelled freshly mowed lawn in the past, but in that moment, it smelled so unbelievably good. In that moment, I realized how limited our time truly is. My mom isn't in attendance today due to severe complications with her cancer treatment, and I found out a few weeks ago that I have to have a second open heart surgery this summer. I wanted to share these bits of my story with you because I wanted to show as an example of how life just keeps coming at us, and it comes really fast. And it's easy to forget or take for granted the most obvious things around us. It's difficult to stay aware of what's happening right now, especially when the pressure of success has us living in the future. Nothing ever really happens in the future. Everything that is happening right now, in this moment. And what we have all achieved here today is success. It is estimated that we have, on average, 1 new thought per second. These thoughts are mostly negative self-talk or fabricated worries. And worse yet, 90% of these things never even materialize. Yet these worries can cause you to doubt yourself. These worries can stop you from taking the more challenging route, and these worries can stop you from being your best. The college education that we received here from UC Davis is about learning how to think and exercising a degree of control over our thoughts. So you can choose what to pay attention to, so that we can respond to life rather than react. Our thoughts affect our realities, and the ability to choose how you construct meaning from experience will determine how you view the world and begin to recognize that being happy starts now, not tomorrow. My fellow graduates, I encourage you to use this education to take the more challenging route, to grow from your shortcomings, and to make a difference in this world. Education is one of the most powerful weapons we have for creating change. And be happy, even on the worst of days. Life is made up of moments, and never allow waiting to become habit. Life is happening right now, and this is our moment. Congratulations, class of 2016. We did it.